Salutations YouTube and welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for clicking on this video. If you are a previous subscriber coming from my Arcane Legends content, how's it going? It's been a while. Sorry to say that I will not be making Arcane Legends videos. I don't think ever again. The game's obviously died or gone downhill a lot. The devs obviously haven't given it much attention, so personally, not interested. I've moved on to a game that I started playing when I was younger and have recently returned to a couple months ago. Um, and just like Arcane Legends, I am doing leaderboard stuff. And that brings me to the topic of this video. Two topics. Second topic is going to be addressing a bit of drama, which of course comes with leaderboard stuff, as we know. If you come from Arcane Legends, you know all about all the leaderboard drama that comes with. I am not a stranger to it, and I was definitely expecting it. It was actually a lot less than I was expecting, so I'll take that. But first we're going to talk about how I won the Era Duel. So, for the Era Duel, I went ahead and ruined 4 or 5 monsters ahead of time. I ended up not being able to use one. I woke up and was really disappointed to find out Corruptus was not going to be usable, which I had ruined Orozmic to use with Corruptus, because the trend was that they added a couple of legendaries and then the legendaries from all the challenges, which would have included Corruptus as his challenge was earlier on in the season, but I guess they excluded him. So I had Orozmic ruined, Dreamer ruined, Vampira, and Witchcat ruined. Witchcat was just already ruined because I was using her for wars. Let me think. But yeah. So my basic strategy when I started off was to have Witchcat go first, and she was the fastest denier. But then after talking to Pix and a couple of other people, I decided to change that to Vampira going first. And my main reasonings for keeping Witchcat on the team, like a lot of people who ran Vampira first were running Aerobat and Dreamer, or Aerobat Witchcat. I kept Witchcat, which not a lot of people did, because Witchcat was obviously faster when put full team speed versus an Aerobat for full team speed. And Vampira was able to counter most deniers that went first, because she had total blind and blind, which blind really fucked up Witchcat, like no matter what. She almost always missed when she had blind for some reason, which is something that Pix pointed out, and so I took that into stride and I adapted my team to that, because you don't get anywhere if you stay the same. If you don't take a step forward, you're not going to move forward. You got to take that step. And so I made the changes that I needed to. Yeah. There was only one team that I couldn't beat, but I decided not to stake my whole team on not being able to beat a team, and that team was Aerobat, protected by Orozmic, which is something that a couple people use, but one person prominently. But they had it ruined wrong at first, so it was easy to counter until they changed it, and then I changed my team to counter them, because they were the most prominent threat I had, and I was still able to beat the people who got second and third place just fine. But yeah, I made the changes I needed to make. There was one problem though, when I missed blind, and the only reason I'd ever miss blind was because Witchcat was on the bottom of the enemy team. Now, one thing that I figured out through the Era Duel was that there's no such thing as RNG in this game. If you've ever been programming or ever done any programming of any sorts, you'll know that it's not easy to program a coin flip based in percentages, especially when there's changing percentages, some 25, 20, 35, or 50, and there's just a whole lot, so it's easier to make an algorithm based upon the turn in which the monster uses the skill and the setup of the enemy team into their placement on the side. For the Era Duel, there were only so many constants, so it was easy to manipulate. Now, I was always able to beat Witchcats on the top or in the middle, because on Vampira's 4th turn, her blind lands on a hardened monster. it's only on her third turn, which I figured out that it lands on the bottom monster, and I reapplied that every single time with screenshots in a server as I was figuring it out, because it completely blew my mind when I figured out it was just an algorithm, because I thought it was RNG like so many people do. To people who already knew it wasn't, GG, could have used a little bit of that information. But yeah, that was one of my main strats, and then he was total blind on Arrowbat, total blind on Farupapu, and yeah, and then normally everyone would be targeting my Witch Cat because she seems like the biggest threat. No one ever took into consideration my Vampira. So when they had like Kai or something, they'd use Eradicator Blade on Witch Cat, and Vampira would go ahead and decimate their team with dots. Like she could do like 10k damage each hit, and that really added up without any strength runes, and she could get 4 turns, which decimated teams, and they all thought that they were worried about denial. I killed them with dots and raw damage. That was my strat, and then Dreamer just protected them and cleansed them, which most people didn't think to bring a cleanser, but once you've been playing the game long enough, you know if you don't have PER and NER in a team, you're gonna get fucked over completely. So I made the necessary changes and I came out on top, which, you know, pretty nice. What's this? Oh yeah, that scamming pig. Nice. PvP. I don't have the energy to do PvP at all. I never have. There's just no reason. Just go for top 1k and you're good. Where? Nice. But anyway, yeah, that's about all I did to win the Era Duel. Constantly changing my stuff, and yeah, made some good friends in the Air Duel, which I really enjoyed. Like both second and third, I talked to afterwards or during, and became friends with them. I'd like to say. I mean, Smoke and I talked through the entire thing and traded knowledge and things that we noticed, and had a good time with it. And then Haasness, the person who got second place, and we talked a lot afterwards and compared stuff and looked at what we knew. I had a great time talking to him. I mean, he's a smart guy. And, you know, I think he would have definitely taken first if not for the time zone difference, and it ended at like 10 a.m. his time. He had to sleep or go to work. You know, I was lucky at Thursdays off and took today to myself and had a good time doing it. I don't regret it at all. Like, I spent about 20 to 22 hours fighting, but I got this avatar. I've had this frame since the first season, but still nice. I like the avatar, personally. It's got a good color, matches well with the frame. Yeah, on top of making friends, also made someone not so friendly with me, which is unfortunate. I prefer a world of peace without conflict than a world of conflict with no peace. And I would like to say that I am also guilty, definitely a hypocrite when it came to this situation. I heard that this person was streaming the Air Duel. You know, I thought I'd check it out, but I never got time to do it until people started DMing me saying, "Yo, this guy's in here cussing you out and whatever." After I was beating him, yeah, you know, that ticked me off. I got a little carried away, I'd like to say. And I'm not proud of my actions at all, or the things I said. The thing that I mean, I just recently said something to him, and I'm not proud of it whatsoever. At all. But then I watched his video and listened to all the shit he said. All the bull crap he said. And then I kept watching. You know, that's where someone would get mad, peel off, and start cussing him out somewhere, saying a whole ton of shit. But I kept watching, and I'm glad I did. it was in that last about 20 to 30 minutes of his video, around an hour to an hour 10, or somewhere in there, when he started to say reasonable things that show that he's not as bad of a person as I took him to be. And I want to be able to tell him that, but I feel the nature of our relationship, how it started in a competitive scenario, leaderboard-wise, I can't really repair that. And he has no reason to, but some things that he said that really stuck were, well, not said, but things that he did. He admitted to his mistakes. He admitted to being wrong. He did a lot of things that require actual maturity to do, which was something that I hadn't previously seen from him, but nonetheless. Sorry, just one thing that he said was that if there's one thing to take away, it is that I showed adaptability to the event, and that you should take that. I don't know. I'm not gonna go back and watch it again. Sorry. I don't think he's as bad as I took him to be. That's the main thing I want to say about that whole situation. Like, he took, let's see if I can find him. I'm sure he's still up here. He took his Vampira, and something that I said afterwards in his stream, when I was still trying to be friendly with him. He took his Vampira and put a Pesty Trap on it to counter the, maybe I missed him, but he put a Pesty Trap on his Vampire to counter the Neobuki bases, because that was something I said, and he tried it. He said to call him a copycat. I don't think he's a copycat. I think that you can't know everything. It's impossible for a human being to know every single thing there is to know. But we can all learn from each other. It's not copying to take someone else's knowledge and to use it. It's being resourceful. I don't consider him a copycat at all. During the Era duel, when I faced him, I took away two things that I used. I needed to go back to fucking Dreamer. Orosmic wasn't fucking working for me, and I'll admit that. I started off with Dreamer. I decided to give Orosmic a whirl because I saw him use sometimes, see if I could figure him out. Nah, it didn't work for me, as he showed me. And I'm glad, and I thank him for that. I probably would have switched back to Dreamer. Either way, I would have lost and then realized my mistake, but I'm glad he corrected it early. And secondly, I decided to put my self-evasion skill on my Witch Cat on his earlier team, and that saved me my ass so many times. Like, that clutched out so many wins. And that's because of his team that I realized I should try and run it. And it worked. It worked beautifully. And I owe that to him. Everyone that I faced taught me a little something. I faced someone from Left Hand of God later on, like with 8 hours left, and they were running a team that I hadn't at all expected. I mean, by the end, I wasn't losing at all. Like, nothing. Because of everything I learned throughout the day. Oh gosh. I'm not the greatest talker. I don't script things at all. I talk based upon my mind, so this is a little scuffed. And I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry I had to make you listen to this without moving my screen at all. I'm just staring off thinking, collect all that, try to get to 3 billion. Not gonna happen. But anyway, yeah, I wasn't losing at the end because of everything that was being taught. And, I mean, there were times where someone would run the exact same team as me and their team went first, and I still beat them because of everything that I learned throughout the day. I know that I faced Hollow from Hounds of Justice, and it looked like he was winning, but I pulled out a couple key plays, and when I was down, I rose back, and I learned a lot about the game from that day. I learned a lot about people that day, and I had a really good time that day. And it sucks, because thinking back, I didn't let someone else have their good day. Someone who placed higher than 96 people that were shown on a leaderboard, and another 100,000 people who gave it a whirl. I didn't let them have their day. What makes me deserve a day more than another human being? Nothing at all. Everyone deserves their day, even if we all have that day on the same day. I mean, yeah, I beat him, and I beat everyone. And people beat me, but then I beat them in the rematch. But he beat everyone, but then changed his team and beat people. And the guy in second place beat everyone, except for people that he lost to, and then he changed his team. Third place, same case. We all worked hard, and we all had a good day. For the most part. And I couldn't let someone have their good day, which I'm truly sorry for. And it's not how I choose to, just not how I choose to govern myself. I work hard every day and try my best. Try to see the world in a good view, and then don't contribute as well as I could some days. And the day of the Era Duel was another one of those days. And I'd like to say I am sorry to Lost Jumper for not letting you have your day. Fourth place, free to play, with 3 or 4 mutant runes, a scuffed start, scuffed middle, stream snipers, the whole fucking game against you, and you still pulled out a good 4th place. You got 10 chests, a sweet frame, bragging rights that you were visible without having to scroll down. Like, at the end of the day, it's a fucking video game. I think he needs to grow up. I think I need to grow up. We all gotta grow up. Look back 30 years from now, see how ridiculous it is. Nah, I'm not gonna look back 30 years from now. I'm gonna forget about this 30 years from now. I'm looking back now and seeing how ridiculous this is. But I'm still gonna enjoy a game because world is shit outside. Don't need to contribute to that. So, I hope that I can move past this. I hope that he can move past this, and we stop thinking about a day, think about all the days that are left. Because there's not an infinite number of days that we each have. We should live each and every one to our fullest happiness and to aim to make everyone else happy. Because if everyone works to make everyone else happy, who's left not? Who's left not enjoying life? If everyone gave everyone else attention and weren't so selfish, how many people would kill themselves each year? How far would that number go down? If everyone got the attention they needed from another person, how much better would life be? I feel like this topic's changing drastically, but I think I'm going to continue with it because I never just talk into a mic. My sister, 2 years younger than me, had a friend. This friend took her life not long ago, about a month ago now. knows why. But imagine if someone had been there to listen to why. Imagine if someone had given her a day. This is an interesting world that we've all been set into, and we all have our independent thoughts, our independent motives. But sometimes you just gotta sit back, look around, and turn one frown into a smile. Because when you turn one frown into a smile, that's two smiles. Because you can't smile when you're helping. You can't help but not smile. I don't know when you get what I'm trying to say. I'm losing my train of thought. This went on a lot longer than I had anticipated. Originally, before I'd even watched Lost Jumper's video, I was just gonna say, stay mad, and the video, call it good. But then I watched it, and I'm glad I did. And so I'm sorry, and I hope that everyone can move past this, because I know he's getting a lot of hate. Not maybe to him directly, but I'm reading a lot of things in Discords and such, and I don't like that. I don't believe that that's necessary. We are a community, not two communities, not a couple communities. We are one community under one game. We all play the same game. We all want to have the same fun. So let's have that fun. Because we are one species. We are human beings. We don't need to be fighting like animals. Because we brag to not be animals. Shouldn't we prove ourselves right? Or do we all like proving ourselves wrong? Anyway, yeah, I might start doing videos for Monster Legends like I did Arcane Legends. I must say I enjoyed YouTube quite a bit. Ooh, spicy. Look at all those 10s. Ooh, that is a spicy dreamer. But I believe that is where I'm going to draw the line of this video before I bore you out of your mind. If you are still watching, holy crap, you have the attention span of a 14-year-old kid. I don't know. Like, if you can't sit still for 20 minutes, half an hour, I don't even know how long this is. We got other problems. But thank you so much for watching. Yeah. I didn't expect to come into this apologizing. I was actually fuming before I started making this, but then I started thinking as I was talking. And sometimes before you say something, you gotta think about it. And I'm glad I thought about it. I don't want to fight. I don't see a reason to fight. I want to help people grow. And I want to grow. So let's all grow together. Have a good day, everyone. Catch you in the next one, or on the flip side. Either or. But you know I'll be smiling to the end. Take care.